And there we are. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's stream. Today, the first of two. I am going to be doing another stream later on tonight. But welcome. Hope you guys enjoy. Thank you guys if you were here yesterday for both of those streams. This weekend's kind of a testing, kind of making sure that all of the VTuber stuff is working and all of that, and it seems to be. I'm pretty happy with it. Still doing some tweaks and here and there. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's working pretty well. Today, we are playing the new Star Trek game that just launched, Star Trek Resurgence. I think it launched a few weeks ago, but it completely flew under my radar until literally last night. I think I saw in passing the reviews for it and was just kind of in the back of my head, just said, "Oh, cool! Oh, hey, new Star Trek game, neat." Um, and it just didn't hit me that it was dropping as soon as it did. Um, yeah, this was kind of a stealth release. This was kind of I don't even know if it was a stealth release, but it completely flew under my radar. And I'm a huge Star Trek fan. So, that being said, this game, now I have a problem with a lot of Star Trek games. A lot of them we're looking at Star Trek Online, and a few others that kind of focus on the ship-to-ship combat, flying the ship, which is not what Star Trek is about. I mean, Star Wars, yes. You think lightsaber duels and blaster fights and dogfighting, and that stuff, maybe not lightsabers, but that stuff is in Star Trek. It's not the focus. It's more character driven and it's more character driven. It has heart and it's more strategic. It's more about the science. There's more thought behind it. There's more strategy. And so a lot of games think that people want the ship-to-ship combat, which these ships really aren't built for dogfighting. They really aren't. Particularly the Enterprise, which is at its core an exploration vessel. But this game is made by 20, as I understand it, it's made by 20 plus developers from Telltale. When Telltale shut down, I don't know if it was before or after they kind of left the company, but Dramatic Labs was born out of Telltale when they shut down. Telltale, of course, being known for Game of Thrones, their Batman series, and of course their most well-known series, which is the Walking Dead games, which were phenomenal. They were story-driven. They still had some action, some intrigue, but at its core, it was the story and the choices that you as the player make. And that's what I want in a Star Trek game. So we'll see what they have done. It's been 4 going on 5 years since Telltale shut down. It seems like yesterday, honestly. But yeah, we'll see what Dramatic Labs has in store for us. I don't know much about this game, other than a little bit of research that I have done. I know this takes place after Star Trek Nemesis, so after the Next Generation movies. There's at least one well-known cameo that I know about. I don't know when they'll appear, how big of a role they play, but I do know that they are coming, and I am excited for it. It is one of my favorite Star Trek characters. But without further ado, let's see if we can jump over into the game. And turn desktop audio on. There we go. Let me know how the audio sounds. I did briefly start this game to make sure, for tech purposes, but just look at this ready room, though. This is like we have a tricorder there. Looks to be some sort of relic there on the table. A couple pads. But yeah. So we're gonna overwrite this. Because like I said, I did oh crap. Hold the phone. Okay, it looks like it's starting from the beginning. I didn't make it very far. I made it through like the opening scene, and that was about it, just to kind of tech test this a little bit. From Dramatic Labs. It is weird coming off the series.
Stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe.
God, this is so pretty.
Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good.
I didn't really want to interrupt the captain's log. That usually sets the pace for the game.
New first officer
for the rest of the
en
episode.
route to the Resurgence. Jara Ryder. Now she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Oh. Here we go.
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. But these little shuttles are the worst.
And yet you've joined Starfleet.
You don't like flying. And yet, you joined Starfleet.
There's a reason I'm not a pilot.
You should try it sometime.
Okay, it looks like he took positively to that. I'm gonna guess that's what green means.
Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. If she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
So it looks like we are the first officer on the ship, on the Resolute. I also do appreciate, so this is after Star Trek Nemesis. This is the Next Generation movies uniform, like dead on. I do appreciate that little detail. I did like the Next Generation uniforms.
Starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
Starbase 128, Starfleet of Operational Support Services. I can read. So, we are... Let's head over here. That looked a little like Gates McFadden from the back.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the academy.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalen test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the academy.
So he's got his sea legs back. So now he's bragging. Now he's trying to save face.
So,
Let's knock him down a
there's
peg.
that.
Only top 20, huh? So I guess there's room for improvement.
Well, it's really, really hard.
So I've heard.
We gotta motivate him a little bit, you know?
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds.
So we've got a reticle on screen. And scan. Oh, it's right trigger. I am playing with gamepad, so. Commander Jara Rydek. That's
Welcome,
cool.
Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalen test.
Said I heard of
You,
it.
you finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's
Now
an
he's
honor
starstruck.
to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground, so to speak.
The
We'll
pleasure's
be
mine.
nice to the ensign.
Ensign,
Paul Calloway.
good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermod is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on
Okay,
the
so
rest.
we're a distinguished Starfleet officer, is what we're getting at. And he's a little starstruck. Like, I can't say I blame him. I mean, on a test that makes the Kobayashi Maru look easy, and the Kobayashi Maru is literally an unwinnable test. It's a no-win scenario.
Good day, Commander.
Today, I do appreciate the old school tech, which it seems like the new series is kind of, they've updated it, but kind of still paying homage to this, like the old school. I've always liked the old school aesthetic of these, which the Kelvinverse didn't really have. Oh, there's the run button. I found the run button.
If I remember my briefing, Commander Ermont is a Bolian, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
Something over there. Talk to Lost Crew.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just... Well, I'm not sure where my departure dock is. Resolute's gonna leave without me.
Look here. The Resolute is leaving from this dock.
Ah, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me. Thanks so much, Commander.
So we're distinguished Starfleet officer. We're first officer of this new ship. Trying to compile what we know about this character so far before we take the reins and completely mess it up.
Starbase 128 has 4 docks.
Only 4? I feel like that's small for a starbase.
I'll replicate myself a meal once I'm on board.
Good old replicators. You know, I read somewhere that there's 3D printers for food. Like, you can 3D print with chocolate and all, which means we're one step closer to replicators, and I am so
Excuse
excited
me.
for that.
Have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
There he is.
Ah, there he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
Also, the distinguishing of rank is so subtle in the Star Trek universe. You know?
Excuse me.
Okay, that was appreciated. That was a little detail. I don't know if anybody caught that, but walking between these guys and her saying, "Excuse me," that was a little detail, and I appreciate it. Replicator. So Next Generation is my is my favorite
I'm
series.
Commander Jan Ermont, Operations Officer on the Resolute.
Commander Irma.
Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now. I know
It's a
conditions
bit bumpy.
are less than ideal.
It was a bit bumpy, but otherwise okay.
My apologies. This storm is unlike anything I've seen before.
Next Gen is my favorite series, so seeing all
We're
the
grateful you were able to come
seeing
through
that
with
next
first officer.
gen kind of aesthetic
Such short notice.
makes my Star Trek fan. It makes the Star Trek fan in me happy.
Coming from a premier starship and all.
What have you heard? Let's learn about ourselves.
What exactly have you heard about me?
First in your class at the Academy. Received the Starfleet Award of Valor during the Dominion War. Most recently, Tactical Officer and Chief of Security on the USS Endeavor.
You've done
Ooh,
your homework?
Like I said,
the Endeavor.
very lucky.
I know that name, and I can't think of the exact ship right now. But I know the Endeavor is a pretty famous ship.
The USS Resurgence. She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
The equipment malfunctioned. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits.
It was a
Destabilized
test,
the
not even on a
everything.
mission.
There was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew.
Ooh.
At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other. That's what it means to be a crew.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
So far, kind of playing it empathetic.
It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
What's the crew now?
It's been 6 months. What's the attitude among the crew now?
Unsettled. But I hope that a new mission will help them move forward. If not, move on. Listen. I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time, and I'm sure you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first.
Hmm.
Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Confident.
Trust is
We'll go
earned,
confident.
and it sounds like I have my work cut out for me. But I plan on winning them over.
I don't doubt that. I just figured it was better to know what you're walking into.
Of course.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari
So far, we're doing okay.
Let the captain brief you on board. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
Just the thing.
Plasma torch should be that guy. Yeah. So, oh, okay. Move it towards center. Okay. That one took me a second. I was like, okay, do I need to move it somewhere? So this seems to be the other playable character. I know there's at least 2 playable characters. This one seems to be engineering. Looking at his collar, doesn't seem to be the captain. Now turn. And pull the cell. Oh, that is corroded as shit. Yeah, that looks good.
That.
Nice. We did it, guys. We fixed the thing. We fixed the shuttle. The lower decks. Okay, that's a neat detail. Like, that is font and everything from
I thought that thing was totally fried.
the series.
Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Millie.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
Follow Ed Solar to engineering. Oh, ooh, what are you probes? Oh, that animation was rough. You guys see that? We got it.
Oh, these are heavier than they look. Makes more sense than 0G. Welcome. So clean I can see myself.
Carter Diaz!
And you know what?
Little cocky. Okay. Listen, I was helping the guy. So, is this still the Resolute? Also, anybody who doesn't know, the Lower Decks is the animated series about the lower decks of the, I want to say Enterprise? Or no, it's the Titan. It's the Titan, I'm pretty sure. Hyperlift.
I heard the new
Turbo
experts
lift.
arrived.
Hyperlift.
Be long before we
Hyperlift.
get underway. I just
No,
hope
it is
whatever
turbo lift.
Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
We can handle
You and
anything.
me working together, we can tackle anything he throws at us.
Your optimism is positively contagious. Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Petty Officers
Vulcan.
Solar. Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Etzelar on repeated occasions.
So you're saying we're irreplaceable, Commander?
That is one interpretation. Another would be that I would replace you if I could. You can interpret as you see fit.
So, I
Petty
don't
officer.
suppose you wanted us down here to check in before
Well.
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the
We
hull.
can't make
I
everybody
need you
happy.
to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration, but this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood, but many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
We don't want to tell a Vulcan he sounds worried.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready. We've got the best chief engineer in the fleet.
Oh, now you're just kiss
I am a
ass.
Vulcan, Mr. Diaz. Flattery is not necessary. All that I require is that you do your job. Right now, that entails critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes,
Roger
Commander
that.
Chovak. All hands on deck.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovok said. You know what that means?
Well,
It means this ship isn't ready to go out, and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule. Consequences be damned.
It all comes down to us, Nelly. We're the ones who will get it ready.
I know what we can do.
so she's a little disillusioned with,
Or any old
oh, hey, it's that guy.
Excuse me.
A lot of new faces coming on board. It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement. That's for sure.
They seem all right. Something that happened 6 months ago while they were off on another ship. That's nothing to hold against them.
True.
Yeah, you're right. I guess getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt.
She's going to be one of the ones that's
Hold
just
on.
not going to like us from the go.
Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
Don't insult my ship.
Don't talk badly about one of the best ships in all of Starfleet.
We've rebuilt enough of her by now. She better be one of the best.
We'll see about that. But I am glad to be here. He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
Hell. And we just started. We're going on a spacewalk already.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Good to go. See you on the other side.
Activating magnetic souls.
So, mag boots. God, it's so pretty. Like, yeah, this is what I want from a Star Trek game. Oh, it's so pretty.
Let's go.
Like, I'm not one for heights, but I would join Starfleet in a second. So there have always been, like, personality quizzes and everything online. One I haven't seen. What would be your role on a Starfleet ship? I always thought of myself as medical officer. All hands.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily.
Mostly because my favorite characters have been Bones, have been Dr. McCoy.
You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleons. But my understanding is you need a steady supply
Dr.
of
Crusher.
iridium to keep your
I forgot her last name.
stabilized, or bad
I kept
things
going
don't
Gates McFadden, like that's not
And
the
we have
character's
plenty of
name.
iridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help
I do
yourself
need to
to
watch
whatever you like
Picard,
around
though. I've seen the first 2 seasons. I've not seen the latest one, where the entire crew comes back, which I was so happy to see. Just check ourselves in the window real quick. God, look at this ready room. That's a nice desk. That's a real nice desk. Look at that. Model train. Ooh.
He's still got a thing for trains.
I wonder
Both
if they
endings of
still
their day, apparently.
wonder if they still have trains this far into the
Jarrett.
future.
Last time I saw you, it was graduation from the academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrit Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. The only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a
This
bit of
is enough for
recognition.
me. I had hoped for more.
But
Let's just get to work.
unfortunately, we've had our hands full.
We'll be a little humble. This is enough for me.
That would be totally unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes, and already you're trying to make us more efficient. I like it. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
I assume you mean the accident.
That's right. The tragic accident, really. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough.
I feel like there's more to the accident than what they're letting on.
10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement
Like,
of my
right?
career.
There's got to be more to that than what they're saying. Like, just based off the captain's reaction.
So it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard. A warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship could handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
The crew knew the risks.
We all know the risks when we sign up. There are no guarantees. As much as we tell ourselves otherwise.
True. But as captain, my job is to mitigate and manage the risks as much as possible. And that's where I failed. In my defense, I will say, might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO. I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that just won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
You can count on me.
Whether I agree or disagree, I can promise that I'll be honest to a fault.
Good. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But at the end of the day, it has to be my call. Look, I'll be blunt.
Camera didn't quite focus there.
We can't afford another mistake. Or at least I can't. Feel like my career is hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
Positive note. Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. 2 previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. This
For an
ionic
escort
storm.
mission?
Our long-range sensors suggest
Ah.
it's several orders of magnitude stronger
Okay.
than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
Hatari.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater. But the diplomat will brief us on the details of the rendezvous.
Who is the senior
I was
diplomat
confused.
escorting?
Why is a science
That I don't
vessel
know.
Why is an experimental ship
But I don't want
going
to
on a peacekeeping mission?
I expect we'll have some rough
Now I
sledding
get
when
it.
they arrive, so I
Okay.
need you to prepare the crew.
They're testing it against the ionic storm.
There's just
Makes
one more
sense.
thing I want to clarify.
Kind of. We're putting a
Next
diplomat at
for
risk.
me will be the ultimate
But,
pleasure
I
of the
mean,
process.
What is it?
I guess the odds
If
of
your
another ship
is
making
my
it through that
first
ionic
love,
shore
you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own.
against that ionic storm
then I
is,
consider it my personal
you know,
failure.
they're higher. So I get it.
That might happen. It's entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
I'd be honored.
It's been a dream of mine since before I can remember. So I would be honored to become a captain someday.
As long as you're willing to do the work, you have my promise. I'll do everything in my power to see that it happens.
Thank you.
Come, let me introduce you to the crew.
Oh, here we go. We've already been warned that the crew's we're gonna have some that we're gonna have some backlash from the crew. So, and here we are on the bridge. Ooh, I like it. I like the bridge. It's no Enterprise D, but I actually like the design of this bridge.
I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Ryder, new first officer.
Like, it's nice and open. I like the
Quick
viewport.
introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman.
Oh, he's got a
Mr.
punchable
Business.
face.
One of. What he lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Likewise.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our Chief Science Officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
On a science ship, makes sense.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian. He's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time. And I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
If anything, the honor is mine.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad. Because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves. And you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done, but you definitely set a standard to strive for.
I'm glad I
Really
inspire
do
you.
know a thing or two about me. I'm glad I could inspire you, but it's important to chart your own path.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sorry, guys. I'm just
You can count on it.
I was looking at the audio levels.
And then, of course, you've already met Commander Ermont. Please do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home here. I'll be on the starbase. Have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make our rendezvous. The bridge is yours.
Man, I've been on the ship for 5 seconds and I already have the bridge. Sit in the captain's chair when ready. This is it. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. This is the moment I've been waiting for. We're taking command. I feel like I probably could have talked to
Chief
people.
Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural integrity field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm. We just need your go-ahead.
Mission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field. Now.
Entering maintenance mode. Condition blue.
Something doesn't seem right.
The storm is getting worse.
I appreciate that every
Great.
scene is
Get to that
punctuated by a title card.
time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
Look at
Still
that,
got some
though.
scars
Look at
on
the
her.
scale of this thing.
It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship.
No.
Like, I'm trying to look around, but it's not letting me.
Sometimes it feels like we're just part of machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine.
I'm more than that.
Massive machine.
So are you. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere. See new worlds. Look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be. Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the Sif emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed
Doing a
with the
spacewalk.
recalibration.
Oh, we're live. We're live. Gotta open a panel. We gotta fix things, guys. Nice. Okay, so we need the calibration tool.
Beginning recalibration.
Two nodes to center the circle. Okay, so we need. Oh, whoa, 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 easy. Oh, easy. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Looks good. That wasn't so hard.
I passed right by it. I think I fucked up, guys. I think I fucked up. Yep, I fucked up.
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive. Yes, I am the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
What a very impressive list of credentials.
Kill him
This
with
is a
kindness.
research
Kill him
and
with
discovery
kindness.
Ship, first and foremost. Now with a former tactical officer as its new first officer. I'm curious, though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer, given your vulnerable condition and all. But if,
I'm not
as an
familiar with
example, we
Kobliad.
found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion, what would happen then?
That ring has something to do with her condition.
Leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario, but not outside the realm of possibility.
In my entire career, it's never been an issue, or caused the slightest problem. And I don't expect this to be any different.
I was just curious, that's all.
I expect a science officer to be curious.
Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Thank you.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew. And he was one of my closest friends. So I can only hope that you'll live up to expectations.
Hey, we just met. You might like me after you get to know me.
They say familiarity breeds contempt, but who knows? Seeing as Captain Solano is on the starbase, let me give you an update on this.
Very
unknown story
kind of
we're
neutral
finding too.
with this
It's
guy.
Unusual.
I can't get a read on him.
Anything I've ever seen. At the moment, I can't tell you if the Resolute will.
He's
shrug it
grieving,
off
I
or
get
if
it.
We're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature,
What does that
we'll come
beeping?
up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
Are we going into red alert before we even leave space dock?
We've got a massive energy wave inbound.
On screen.
Oh.
Tracing its trajectory. Starbase docking clamps are holding. The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wide-band burst of ionic energy.
Get those ensigns out. Get those petty officers out of here.
Estimated time to impact, 2 minutes.
Red alert. Before we even leave space dock, red alert. That's a good sign.
Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
And sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact, 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available.
We're not even going to make it out of space dock at that point.
Weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
There's a better way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire
Not where I
shield
would have
level,
put the
but
focus
it's a
of that
directional
camera.
threat, so we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
Which is why we need to send power to our shields.
Commander Westbrook, use the deflector dish.
Already working on it. Optimal timing displayed. It's going to be tight.
Good. Send the pulse on my command. Now.
Got it. This is it.
No.
All hands, brace for impact.
Ooh. Oh, those petty officers.
What happened?
We have experienced a surge of radiation.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
Blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
This is not gonna end well.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe circuit?
Got it. Failsafe override locked.
Engage the override.
But
It
it's
should
locked.
allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
This does play like a Telltale game, I will say. Okay, now we're in manual override. Toggle interlock 1. Engage. Toggle interlock 2. Engage.
Failsafe override engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
Interlock's open. ISO. Routing ISO. Remove. And signal ISO. Status override.
Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
Hey. Press Y to equip phaser. And now we're shooting. Okay. Woo.
So we gotta climb up the pylon. Not that there's really an up, but, you know.
Alright, let's go, guys. Use your phaser to clear a path. I'm going to go ahead and pull that sumbitch out. Got it. Got it. Oh. Nope. Nope. Whoa. Easy there, Nelly. Easy there. All right. Oh, I don't like how close you are. This is the Star Trek action we're looking for. I feel like our phases ain't doing shit. Our phasers ain't doing shit. Got it. Got it.
Opening the access panel.
And now halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload of the engine.
Open the access panel.
Yes, manifold adjusters reset to neutral.
You got my back? I don't know if I... Oh, okay. So 3 wavelengths. Okay. Line. What does yellow do? Oh, God. So I'm assuming we have to line these up. Oh.
EPS lines to the port warp engine are back in balance.
I don't think they were entirely back in balance there, mate. Oh. Those are the clamps. That's not good. Captain, get your ass back on this ship. Ah, whoa!
DS to bridge. We just
I
lost
put the controller down for a second.
We've got a lot of debris coming down. All vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Oh.
What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us.
Put them through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
We have crew outside and are looking for the
We have
safest way.
people on this station. If that mooring arm breaks, we could lose dozens of crew.
Commander, hear me out. Reverse the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order. Jara?
It's not that
Respect,
simple.
sir. It's a more complex situation than when you
Jara,
disembarked.
I need you to do the right thing. We can't have this go sideways before we even leave for the mission.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there. Reverse the polarity.
Hold up. Okay, so here's the bottom line. Yeah, here's the bottom line, guys. We have 2 crew members outside the ship. We could reverse the polarity, but that's also going to send those crew members flying. But, like, this is really a no-win scenario for those 2 crew members. But if we reverse the polarity, it just means their mag boots won't work. Right? Right.
Is protocol.
And there are lives.
What is the holdup?
Starbase, stand by. We're gonna flip hull polarity to disengage the clamps.
Yes, Commander.
Sorry, Captain. It's the right move.
Prepare. This is Acting Captain Jara Ryder. Be advised, we are going to reverse hull polarity to free us from the remaining docking clamp. Tether yourself and deactivate your boots on my mark.
Understood.
What is tethering yourselves gonna do?
8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Come on.
3, 2, 1. Mark!
Oh! There were not clear instructions there. I almost missed.
Grab my hand. I got you.
Thank you.
Plasma imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
Come on. Come on. Put a little elbow grease in it. Come on. Come on. We can do this. Okay. Thank you. Together. Let's do this. We got this, guys. We got it. Woo! That was tense. Oh! Oh, that was a hit. That was a hit.
Solar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. You are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc to approach the main hull the way you came.
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There's an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Edsolar there to access the interior.
Roger that. Going there now.
Also, this might sound a little wrong, but I did appreciate when we made that decision on the bridge. We had the 3 main officers, green, Captain Red, obviously, the engineering officer, the Vulcan, was just kind of neutral about the situation. Like, we just saved your people. Potentially. And you're just kind of, yeah.
You go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time. No time to fight me on this. Get in there.
You better be right behind me.
Oh no. Oh no. Come on. Oh no. Don't you do it.
We're in.
We're in. Oh. Woo!
They're safe, bringing the Sith fully online.
Oh, this game can't do this to me. Mm-mm.
Order.
I'm okay. I'm okay. But that's a lot.
Here, let me help you.
You better be okay. Oh, that is a nasty
Gotta go.
scar.
We've got one wounded at my location. Millie.
Oh, man.
Medical. That is
See you
gnarly.
at sick bay.
You guys.
Status report.
The repair.
Hold on. Before we're gonna chill for a second. That was intense. And this is why I love the Telltale games. Is like they're not very action heavy, but in moments like that can get intense. Like my heart was racing there. Holy. Yeah, that was something. Oh, we can see our yeah. So yeah, that was intense. I need to take a short. Woo! I need to take a second for my my heart to stop trying to break out of my chest there before we get yelled at by the captain for saving lives. Let me tell you, I was so afraid that she had died right there. Oh. Also, the fact that there was a red there for her. She told us to. We were doing what she said. Oh man, that was something. Real quick, we're gonna log into. We're just gonna get back into. I'm gonna do some housekeeping things on the back end real quick while we're just chatting.
Not outfits.
Oop. I logged into Twitch. Get back into back there. Oh man. Yeah, we need to take a second here. I'm gonna take a short break real quick. Just to kind of get my bearings, and I need some water after that. And yeah, when I come back, we'll get yelled at by the captain because that's fun. So yeah, I'm gonna take a short break, and we'll be back here shortly. All right, everyone, and we're back. And we're back. Now I've got some water now. Got some water now. My heart is not trying to break free of my chest right now. So, that being said, welcome back. For anybody who just joined, we are playing Star Trek Resurgence. Sorry. The new game from the creators behind Telltale, Deviant Lab. We are jumping back in. We just got back onto the ship. We got everything stabilized, just saved the lives of 2 petty officers who were out on a spacewalk. We are going to unplug that because that's being annoying. And the captain is mad at us because we disobeyed a direct order. You know, as you do. As you're not supposed to do, but as you do. So, let us get back into the game and get yelled at by the captain for doing the right thing. And there we go. Alright, so. Captain Solano was furious Jara defied his orders and did not blow the bolts off the docking clamps as he instructed her to do. Lieutenant Bedrosian admired Jara's instincts to protect the crew when Starbase ordered her to disengage the docking clamps, and she thought highly of Jara's efforts to explain the complexity of the situation to Captain Solano. And she was relieved when Jara defied Captain Solano's orders. Commander Westbrook respected Jara's inclination to protect the crew and applauded Jara's efforts. Ermot was glad Jara's first instinct was to protect the crew when Starbase ordered her to disengage the docking clamps. Chovak did not approve of Jara's unwillingness to follow protocol when she defied. Okay. Yeah, I get that. I was grateful for Jara's sense of humor. Okay, so I am glad that this does give us a little bit of insight behind why they're mad at us. Carter, Lieutenant Commander Chovak, found Carter to be cheeky and cavalier when he and Edsolar were almost late in main engineering. Miranda couldn't help but feel some chemistry with Carter. Ooh. After their playful banter when she first arrived on board the Resolute. Kind of a love interest kind of thing going on. I appreciate that. Was annoyed after Carter seemed to put his own safety ahead of her own on the hull. She told us to go in! Oh, Edsolar. This is going to get interesting. Alright, so, where we left off, the captain was just walking onto the bridge, so...
Crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermot?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimized damage to the Resolute. We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time. As of now, however, we are successfully moored to the station.
Good to hear. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me. You disobeyed my orders. Well?
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the information I had.
You disobeyed my orders! And not just in front of the bridge crew, but the Starbase staff as well. That's going to get around. My name's already tarnished around the fleet. But what is it?
Oh, damn your reputation.
On this ship. From the top to the bottom. Bridge to lower decks.
Captain, I told you I'd be honest, so here it is. Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order, but you were wrong. You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information. So I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew. Trust me.
Damn
Might have won
straight.
some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personally. He'll get over it in time.
He's a
Mr.
Vulcan, he
Chovak
doesn't
is more
care.
complicated than he would want to admit. I guess we all are. And if I'm being honest, I'm not sure what I would have done in the moment either. You never really know if you weren't in those shoes. So,
Thank you.
just boil it down to you did what you had to. That'll have to be good enough for me.
Thank you for understanding, sir. I'm sure no one knows the burden of command as well as you do.
I'm sure you will, someday. Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance.
He still has trust in us. He was just angry we embarrassed him.
Knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and we'll set out for Qatar.
Yes, sir.
God, it's such a cool looking ship, though. All I ask is a tall ship. I am glad we picked that option, because I would have told him the same thing. Put your goddamn ego aside.
All departments reporting full mission readiness. We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
Start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit. Sit, everyone. You all know, not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
We almost didn't make it out of dock, but we're embarking now.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
My mind is going back to the first Kelvinverse movie, the Star Trek reboot, where they were first pulling out a space dock. Just didn't work until Pike told asked Sulu if he disengaged the parking brake.
Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to war.
Aye, Captain.
You know what? Take this.
Me?
Oh, engage.
Engage.
Got to do the classic engage. This game does a stellar job at just making you feel... It feels like a Star Trek episode. Sit in the XO chair.
Whoa. Careful.
Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
You don't look fine.
Thank you, science officer. In other words, shut up.
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
And just like that, there's her condition.
Help me get her inside.
Listen, we can't have a moment's peace. clunky thing.
Well, that was quite a scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on her, but she'll live. Just needs rest. You should worry about yourself. Your duridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer.
Ram
To be
Duval.
honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're
rare. I know.
I was going to say special. People's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the duridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
I know what it means. And I know the responsibility that comes with it. But I can't be anything more than who I am. And if someone has a problem with that, or expects something else, then that's their problem, not mine.
That's exactly right. And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment.
Lieutenant
I'll just do
Commander.
the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. When the lives of your crew are at stake. My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. Breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on. The more the time passes and the further out of reach it gets, the more risk he'll be willing to take.
Ooh.
People become blinded by their own ambition. I've seen it happen before.
I hear you. But that's my job, isn't it? To make sure that doesn't happen. And we don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Which is exactly why I'm so glad you're here. We need you now more than ever. And I have to give you credit for what happened on the bridge. It took guts to defy a direct order.
Damn straight.
I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship. And everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure is almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Understood.
Then, my work here is done.
I hope that is a regular thing that occurs. Like, we have to make the decision.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be lurking outside of sickbay. I didn't want to
Dick.
intrude, so it felt more appropriate to wait out here. We were all worried about you. Or I should say I was. I wasn't sure what was happening at first. But then I realized it was your condition.
You sure you didn't come here to gloat? Remind me that you saw this coming the moment I stepped on board.
Make no mistake, I like being right, and I won't be quiet about it when I am. But it didn't happen at the worst time. You made it through that. So I guess I was wrong.
Which means we earned a little bit of his respect, which I'm okay with.
You trusted my intuition earlier, with the deflector pulse. I felt I should thank you for that.
Well, thank you for coming. Even though you didn't have to.
I wanted to.
Complete the diagnosis
So we at least
sequence
earned a
and
little bit of
ready
respect
for
there.
service.
Yes, sir.
Storm in the Hotari region.
I get the feeling if we had low respect, that would have been a different conversation.
Shuttlecraft in working order.
That would have definitely have been a different conversation had I like not listened to him or something.
Excuse me, Commander True.
Petty Officer Maris. I will leave you to your work.
stopped by sick bay and saw Millie. I figured you'd want to know.
Did she say anything about... Is she mad at me for going in the hatch first?
She had some choice words. I tried to smooth things over, but I think you're gonna have to make things right with her yourself. Dr. Duval said she'll be back on duty soon, though.
Come on. I have to run the final diagnostic.
That bothers me a little bit.
I can't stay long. I've got a long to-do list before we get to Hatari, and things are piling on faster than I can check them off. We're making all our last-minute checks and security, too.
We'll just have to take things as they come. Control what we can, roll with the punches.
Next thing you're gonna tell me you're listening to Andorian
There is a
jazz.
little bit of chemistry here.
No.
The point is, the right time might never come. So, I'm just gonna roll with it. I had a chance to think about this while I was away.
Speaking of chemistry, are we gonna...
Killed out on the hall. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you.
Come on,
Instead
say
of
it.
tiptoeing around it. Or worse.
Did I do something wrong?
Wait, are you angry at me or something?
No, not that.
I am, but not that.
I'm probably making too big of a deal here. What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time. I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore.
I want to be best
See
friends.
if there's more between us than just being friends.
Best friends. Don't ask, are you sure? Oh,
Carter?
this is surprising.
This is all kind of unexpected.
I didn't expect this either. But here we are. And I didn't want to ignore it. I just figured I'd steer right into it. Well, what do you think? I've been about as direct as I
Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Wait. So I paused the game to kind of think about this here, but then I just read what that says. Captain Solano's fury over having his orders defied was compounded by Jara's continued rebellious attitude and stubborn opposition to his leadership, leaving him questioning his choice of first officer. Ouch. Like, I thought we were cool. I thought we had smoothed that over a little bit. I thought we were cool. Oh, this is getting interesting. Okay. What about Carter? Oh, okay. So, Maris. I'm kind of feeling some chemistry here. I feel like Neely would be... I feel like Ed Solar would be against it. And here's about where I'm at with this. Fuck Neely. Sorry she got hurt. Fuck Neely.
stomach. You can do that too.
I like you too, Miranda. Let's see where this goes.
Okay. I was really hoping you'd say that.
These are uncharted territories.
I'd call it a chemistry experiment.
Ooh, that was smooth.
With us.
I'm just really glad that you said something.
I've seen how you operate. I couldn't wait for you to make the first move. I'm glad too.
Damn.
So whatever happens next is great with me.
Level 1 diagnostic complete.
I have to get back to that to-do list. They're probably looking for me.
Can't blame them.
She is smooth.
I'll be seeing you.
9 forward later? 12 forward later?
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Oh,
Ionic interference surging, Captain.
stopped us right in the middle of an asteroid belt, dick.
We can take it.
Way to pilot.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain. Let's reduce the noise. Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types.
Come on, come on. Okay. Alright, come on. Really? Like, I am turning it like it says. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Okay. I am turning the left stick. Turning the left stick. Turn it the other way. Turning the left stick. Turning the right stick. Turning them both at the same time. Come on. Come on. 9. Hello? Like, turning the left stick. Is there a reload? There's stealth sections? Come on. Like, I don't know what else you want me to do here. We're gonna... Come on. Come on. You can do this. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. Alright, real quick. We're gonna... flip over to camera only real quick. I'm gonna reboot the game. There it is. We're gonna restart the game real quick. See what's happening here. All right.
Approaching the rendezvous
Okay.
point outside Atari.
All right, real quick, we're gonna... All right, so I think I got it working now.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Ionic interference surging, Captain.
No way to skip, so I'm gonna rewatch this cutscene.
Shield integrity holding. We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain. Let's reduce the noise. Filter out
All
environmental
right,
signals,
let's try
and
this
I can
again.
manually tune what's left
We're
for Federation signal types.
turning the left stick. Turning the left stick. Turning the left stick. Turning the left stick. Counterclockwise. What am I doing wrong here? Does it want me to go faster, slower? Apparently it wanted me to go slower. Apparently I was going too fast for it.
On screen.
We're gonna flip. There we go.
Shuttle to Resolute. Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field. Lost maneuvering.
USS Excelsior.
Can't get it any clearer.
Excelsior.
Get a transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them
About to say
directly
tractor
into the
beam
dock.
them in? This guy.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
Yes, sir.
You, sir, the ensign.
Come on, Diaz. First thing, lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
All right. Okay. So stabilize the shuttlecraft. Does it want me to go slower here too? That's it. I'm just too fast for this game.
We're pulling in debris.
I'm on it.
Use the tractor beam to deflect the asteroids. And up. That's... We're gonna get that out of here. Good enough. Oh! We deflected that asteroid.
Missed the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander Rydick, plot an intercept course.
On it.
We're gonna intercept that big asteroid. Plot intercept course right there. Engage.
Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing 53 Mark 17. 200 meters on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
Nice.
Someone's working hard on the bridge.
That never happens. Nobody works hard on the bridge. Refocus tractor beam. We're gonna bring that we're gonna bring that shuttle right in.
Shuttlecraft on board.
Good job. We're on our way down to meet them.
Yes!
Terra firma, so to speak.
It's Spock!
Ambassador Spock.
It's Spock! This is the cameo appearance I was talking about earlier.
Captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
That is undoubtedly the likeness of Leonard Nimoy. Don't you have other duties to attend to? Sorry for the rough landing.
Apologies for the landing, Ambassador. I was operating the tractor beam, sir. I take responsibility.
It was not the smoothest transit, but you got us here safely. That is what matters. We thought we were prepared for our arrival in Hotari space, but it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all, even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies. What do you make of that? All indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice, we find it is not.
Probably the storm.
Well, this storm is one of the strangest phenomena we've ever encountered. It's disrupted other systems. Who knows what it might do to a warp drive?
Yes. It would seem further investigation is called for.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical. Petty Officer...
Carter Diaz. Sir.
Thank you.
Ambassador Spock.
Oh, I know that isn't Leonard Nimoy, but whoever the voice actor is actually doing a really good
I'd
job.
like to get right to it. We're already behind.
Yeah. Provocation of war. 2.
Sir Spock, my senior staff. It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
Again, the camera focus.
But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador. Not the most diplomatic choice of words.
We're all curious about the future, Ambassador. Specifically, what exactly are we getting involved in here?
We got the basics from Starfleet. 2 formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed, and the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour. Lydia and Hotari.
Yeah,
The Lydians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Illydians have shared a mining operation there. The Illydians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force.
For context, the dilithium is used for engines, mostly. And if they were sharing a mining operation, that was probably a lucrative mining operation.
The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Illydians from their system.
Okay.
That is the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
Have the Elydians retaliated against the Hotari? Or taken any action against them?
Surprisingly, they have not yet responded in kind. They were open to a Federation presence, but it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Elydian fleet in open war.
So what happened?
This conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to
So it
prevent.
seems like the Hotari are the aggressors here.
Clearly, the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone. They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing.
Okay.
Peace is our objective, after all.
That is correct.
If we could convince them, it would restore the peace. But we would need the Hotari to accept a difficult compromise.
Okay, so the Hotari are feeling
flaring on both sides.
Hotari are feeling exploited.
Neither the Elydians or the
Most
Hotari
likely they are
members of the
workers.
Federation. So
They're the ones actually
do
working the
anything.
mines,
There is an additional
being the more
complicated
primitive
factor I should
species.
mention.
Okay. Starting to see the picture here.
The Federation has relied on the Elydians as a source of dilithium.
That certainly changes things.
Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
That means the Hotari have no reason to trust us.
But they
Don't go that far,
requested.
Commander.
We are completely neutral in this matter, on neither one side nor the other. Any suggestion otherwise would compromise our position. Given the Federation's involvement in the Elydium dilithium trade, Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the ion storm has done to our ship, and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Elydian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the past. But they have never been observed on the orders of magnitude we have seen in recent weeks.
That may answer why the Hotari were able to strike back after so long. They finally had an opportunity, and they took it.
That would also explain the Elydians' restraint.
And reason to learn as much about the energy anomaly as we can while we are here. Do not want to be caught at a disadvantage of our
So
own.
what did they do to trigger the storm?
So I trust we understand.
There were energy
our
fluctuations
We're
before.
operating
Something
on a
they
strict
did on the
timetable here.
surface must
We're
have
gonna
done
be leaving for the
something to it.
negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
Ambassador Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your officer, for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Rydek could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly goes her own way. Maybe that helps in this case. It would be unconventional, but I'm not opposed to it.
I'd be honored.
I'm honored to be included in the negotiation process.
You're not just included, you are instrumental.
Well, I hope Commander Rydek will have more luck finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace may very well depend on it.
Well then. So, I do want to see what Ambassador Spock thinks of us. Ambassador Spock knows Jara's support of Captain Solano and her distinct perspectives on the dynamics of the Hotaria-Lydian conflict. During the mission briefing, Ambassador Spock also noted Jara's humility when presented with her back-channel mission. So it's more observation than anything. Okay. Alright, so kind of gotta... Then Carter. Carter didn't have anything from Spock. I'm a little surprised. For the romantic, and she looks forward to seeing where this relationship might go. Alright, so I'm curious to see Carter's role in all of this. Being a petty officer engineer, I'm curious to see what his story is here. Because so far it's like he's the lower decks crew. So curious to see if he's a main playable character. He's going to have some kind of story arc, some kind of focus in this story. I'm curious to see what that is. Because right now, we really don't have any inkling. So far, he's been instrumental in fixing the ship and getting it going, in saving Ambassador Spock. Jara, we just got a little taste of what the main story is going to be like for her, which is she's going to be involved in the diplomacy, which is really bad with me at the helm. I'm just going to say that for right now. So, but we've been streaming for about 2 hours. I think that is a good place to end it. We'll pick up going into the Hotari system next time I stream Star Trek Resurgence. I am really enjoying this. I am hoping you guys do as well. Of course, the VOD will be available on Twitch. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes. It was a very impactful first stream. So we'll see how this goes. And until then, make sure you like, comment, subscribe on the VOD. Come back here when we stream next. I'm still working on a new streaming schedule, getting back into the swing of things. But until next time, live long and prosper. See you guys.